Sleep Yoga Episode 6. Dragonlight Alchemy. Grasping, Aversion, and the Dream of the Self. The two habits that keep us trapped in the dream. Some dreams begin with a promise. Reach the person, open the door, recover what was lost before it disappears. Others begin with a threat. Something is behind us. The room is closing. We have to escape before it is too late. While the dream is happening, the urgency feels unquestionable. We do not stop to ask who created the pursuit, who decided the danger was absolute, or why the dream self must obey the first impulse that appears. Then morning comes. The place vanishes. The object is gone. Yet the movement remains familiar. We practice it during the day. We reach for approval, certainty, control, pleasure, love, and the version of ourselves we hope will finally feel secure. We recoil from criticism, grief, shame, uncertainty, and anything that threatens the identity we have learned to defend. What if these movements are part of what makes both waking life and dream feel so solid? In the Tibetan teachings of dream yoga, they are called grasping and aversion. They do not merely pass through an already finished self. They help organize the self who seems to stand at the center of experience. To recognize them while awake is to begin practicing lucidity before sleep. Welcome to Sleep Yoga, a Dragonlight Alchemy series exploring dream, sleep, awareness, and clear light through the Tibetan Bön teachings presented by Tenzin Wangyal Rinpoche. In the previous episode, we followed the emotional traces of the day into the dream. We saw that the night receives a stream already moving through memory, bodily feeling, habit, and intention. Today we will look at two movements that give those traces their grip. Grasping reaches toward an experience and quietly says, "Stay. Become mine. Tell me who I am." Aversion pushes against an experience and says, "Leave. Do not touch me. This must not be happening." These movements can begin before conscious choice. Pleasure appears and the mind is already trying to preserve it. Discomfort appears and the body is preparing to withdraw, defend, distract, or strike back. This teaching does not ask us to stop caring about life. Seeking food when we are hungry is not a spiritual error. Leaving danger is not aversion in the sense being examined here. We can enjoy beauty, love deeply, protect what is vulnerable, and refuse what is harmful. Grasping begins when a natural preference tightens into a demand upon reality. The pleasure is no longer simply pleasant. It becomes something the self must keep in order to feel whole. Aversion begins when wise discernment hardens into an inner refusal of experience itself. We are no longer responding only to what happened. We are fighting the fact that it has entered our world at all. The difference may be invisible from the outside. Two people may both say no. One refusal may arise from clarity and self-respect. The other may be driven by panic, hatred, or the need to erase whatever has disturbed a carefully protected identity. Dream yoga asks us to notice the inner movement because karma is shaped there. Imagine that you share something meaningful, a piece of work, an idea, or a part of your heart, and someone responds with praise. Warmth enters the body. For a moment you feel seen. Nothing is wrong with that pleasure. But perhaps the mind begins waiting for the feeling to return. You look for another message, another sign, another confirmation. When the person is silent the next day, the silence feels like deprivation. Something freely received has become a condition the self believes it needs. Now imagine that the same person questions your work. The question may be fair, careless, or unkind. Before you have fully heard it, the jaw tightens. A defense forms around the one who must not be misunderstood, diminished, or found imperfect. Beneath many reactions is an unspoken demand. I must have this. I cannot allow that. This experience tells me who I am. The demand may appear as argument, longing, resentment, fantasy, or the impulse to check a screen one more time. Each version places a self at the center of a world divided into what will secure it and what might undo it. The book describes the ordinary conceptual mind as a mind that instinctively divides experience into subject and object. Me here, the world there. Once this division is taken as absolute, grasping and aversion keep it emotionally alive. I reach for what seems to complete me. I resist what seems to threaten me. The more urgent the reaching or resistance becomes, the more solid both the self and the world appear. This is one meaning of the dream of the self. It does not mean that you do not exist. The teachings make a careful distinction between the conventional self and an inherently existing self. The conventional self is real within ordinary life. It has a name, a body, relationships, responsibilities, history, and consequences. It can be injured. It can create karma, receive help, make choices, practice, and awaken. To deny this would be careless. What cannot be found is a fixed, independent core that remains unchanged beneath every experience. The self we defend is continually being assembled from conditions. A form asks for our name, profession, nationality, age, and relationship status. A conversation awakens a different identity. The child, the expert, the outsider, the one who succeeds, the one who was betrayed. Each identity can be meaningful. None contains the whole of us, and none remains untouched by time. The person who wakes in the morning is not exactly the person who fell asleep. Memory has shifted. The body has changed. A dream may have left an emotion that alters how the day begins. Rinpoche uses the image of a mirror. The mirror can hold many reflections, and each reflection is clearly distinguishable. Yet no reflection has an independent substance inside the glass. It depends upon light, angle, surface, and what stands before it. The conventional self is like a reflection, present and functional, yet contingent and changing. The mirror points to the open nature in which reflections arise. The teaching is not asking the reflection to become permanent. It is asking us to recognize that we have mistaken one shifting image for an isolated essence. Grasping tries to hold the favored reflection still. Aversion tries to remove the reflections that threaten it. The effort is exhausting because the mirror continues to change. Dream makes this easier to see. When a dream begins, a self usually appears with it. We may have another age, another home, or a history that never occurred. We accept the identity without asking for evidence. We become the one who is late, the one being pursued, the one trying to save someone, or the one who has finally received what was desired. That dream self immediately enters a world of preference. It wants, fears, protects, avoids, and defends. A beautiful appearance invites possession. A frightening appearance demands escape. An insult calls forth a defender, even though the speaker, the insult, and the one being insulted are all arising within the same dream. Morning reveals that the identities were provisional. The pursued self, the object of desire, and the threatening world disappeared together. Dream yoga asks whether some of that recognition can arise before waking, and whether we can bring the same lucidity into daytime reactions before they become an unquestioned world. This is why removing grasping and aversion is one of the book's 4 foundational practices. The first foundation is applied when experience is encountered, before a strong reaction takes hold. We remember that appearances, the body, and the moment are dreamlike, conditioned, changing, and less solid than they seem. The second foundation begins after the emotional reaction has already arisen. Lucid awareness is then directed toward the whole event. The self who is reacting, the object toward which the reaction moves, and the reaction connecting them. The traditional reminder may be as simple as, "This anger is a dream," or "This desire is a dream." Its purpose is not to deny the emotion. It is meant to reveal how the emotional world is being produced through thoughts, images, bodily sensations, memory, and interpretation. A promise may truly have been broken. Someone may have behaved cruelly. A loss may be irreversible. Calling the experience dreamlike does not remove consequences or excuse harm. It changes the way we hold the event. Anger can be felt as heat, remembered words, imagined future conversations, and the identity of the one who has been wronged. Longing can be seen renewing itself each time the mind produces an image of what it hopes to possess. Fear may contain a real warning while also predicting and rehearsing a future that has not yet happened. When these processes become visible, the emotion is still present, but it is no longer the whole sky. The book is emphatic that the recognition must be felt rather than mechanically repeated, saying, "This is a dream," while continuing to rehearse the same argument with complete certainty changes very little. The phrase becomes useful when it brings more clarity, vividness, and space into the actual moment. The situation loosens enough for another response to become possible. For this episode, we will begin with a simple form of recognition. When a strong but manageable reaction appears, silently name what is happening. Grasping, aversion, fear, defending. Grasping and aversion are the broad movements described in the teaching. Fear and defending may be the more honest words in a particular moment. Use the name that brings the reaction into view without turning it into a diagnosis. The word is a small bell. It interrupts the sentence, "This is simply who I am," and replaces it with a more spacious observation. This movement is appearing. Suppose you are waiting for a reply from someone whose attention matters to you. You reach for the phone, put it down, and reach again. The answer has become a promise of relief. Silently name it, grasping. Notice how the body leans toward the future. Perhaps the chest is tight or the mind is rehearsing the message it wants to receive. There is no need to scold the longing or perform detachment. Let the movement be known. Or perhaps someone says something that awakens shame. The first impulse is to explain, disappear, attack, or make the other person entirely wrong. Name it, defending. The label cannot tell you whether the criticism is valid. It creates a little room to hear what was said before the threatened identity writes the entire response. Fear may arise in the face of genuine uncertainty. Naming fear does not require ignoring danger. It helps distinguish the information fear carries from the story fear is already composing around it. Aversion may appear when grief, loneliness, disappointment, or fatigue enters the body. The mind reaches for distraction, numbness, judgment, or anger because anger feels easier to inhabit than vulnerability. Name the pushing away without using the word as another weapon. If aversion secretly means, "This feeling should not be here," then aversion has borrowed the language of practice. Recognition must include permission for experience to be known. There will also be moments when a quiet label is not enough. Trauma, panic, and overwhelming states can exceed our present capacity to stay with what is arising. In those moments, grounding and safety come first. Look around the room. Feel the support beneath the body. Contact someone trustworthy. Work with a therapist or qualified teacher when needed. The most overwhelming wound in your life does not have to become the first place you test a new practice. Begin where awareness has room to breathe. Non-attachment should never be confused with remaining in harm. You can leave a dangerous situation without hatred. You can establish a boundary without turning another person into an absolute enemy. You can grieve without making grief your permanent identity. Love can remain sincere without becoming possession. Reducing grasping and aversion does not make action weak. It can make action cleaner because less energy is spent defending an image of the self. At this point, an important distinction is needed. Naming a reaction is a conceptual support. Feeling it in the body, remembering its conditioned nature, and choosing a less harmful response are meaningful forms of practice. They weaken the automatic bond between emotion and action. They are not the same as full self-liberation in Rigpa. In the Dzogchen teaching presented in the book, Rigpa is non-dual awareness, the directly recognized nature of mind. It is not a detached observer standing safely outside the emotion. It is not a refined inner self watching lesser parts of the personality. The mirror metaphor becomes important again. A mirror does not step away from its reflections. It allows every reflection to appear without preference, and none of them stains its nature. In the same way, when awareness is directly recognized and stable, thoughts and emotions can arise and release without being grasped, suppressed, or woven into another identity. The book describes this as cutting karma at its root. No new trace is produced because the emotion is not met with the grasping and aversion that would continue the cycle. This belongs to a mature path of practice, traditionally supported by direct introduction, transmission, and guidance. We should not pretend that one mindful breath is identical to realization. Still, the ordinary pause matters. It prepares the ground. When we know that grasping is present, we are no longer completely hidden inside it. When defending becomes visible, the defended self loses a little of its apparent permanence. When a feeling is allowed to exist without immediate obedience, the mind begins to discover flexibility. Rinpoche compares this flexibility to a mirror that does not hold one reflection and refuse the next. Our usual mind continually ranks experience. Keep this, remove that, become this, never be that. The ranking narrows our choices until one reaction feels inevitable. Dream practice exposes how provisional those limits are. In lucid dreaming, the practitioner may discover that form, scale, movement, identity, and response are more malleable than they appeared. A frightening figure can be approached instead of fled. Something desired can be released. The dream body can change. An apparent dead end can open into another possibility. The point is not to dominate the dream. Control can become another form of grasping. The deeper purpose is to loosen the habit of being controlled by the first appearance and the first reaction. That flexibility returns with us into the day. If the rejected self is seen as a temporary configuration rather than an eternal truth, rejection may still hurt without defining the future. Success can be enjoyed without the desperate effort to preserve the successful identity. Fear can guide wise caution without becoming the only voice permitted to speak. The self does not need to disappear for freedom to begin. It needs to become transparent enough that awareness can see how it is being formed. For the next 7 days, work with ordinary reactions that you can observe without becoming overwhelmed. When something pulls strongly at you or pushes you away, pause before explaining it. Silently name the movement. Then feel where it is living in the body. Notice the contraction, leaning, heat, pressure, numbness, or held breath before the mind turns the sensation into a complete philosophy of the situation. What does this reaction insist must happen? The answer may be simple. I must be chosen. I must not be wrong. This feeling must end. They must understand me. I must keep what I have. Let the demand become visible without humiliating the part of you that carries it. Then widen the view. Notice the self who is reacting, the object it wants or rejects, and the reaction between them. Remember that all three are arising through causes and conditions. They are present, but they are not fixed. Take one unforced breath. After the breath, decide what the moment requires. You may speak, wait, leave, apologize, ask a question, set a boundary, or do nothing yet. The practice does not choose the action for you. It prevents the reaction from pretending to be the only intelligence available. Before sleep, review one moment from the day when grasping or aversion was strong. See it briefly as a dream scene. Notice who you became inside it, what that self wanted or feared, and how the world narrowed around the reaction. Say quietly, "This self, this object, and this reaction are dreamlike. They are present, but they are not fixed." Then form the intention. Tonight, if I am chasing, fleeing, or defending, may I recognize the dream. In the morning, record the dream before interpretation. Notice where you grasped, resisted, feared, or defended. More importantly, look for any instant of flexibility, a moment when the dream self did not have to obey its first impulse. Some mornings you will remember nothing. Continue without discouragement. The daytime practice is already dream yoga. The book repeatedly returns to this continuity. Lucid presence cultivated while awake becomes the strongest preparation for lucid presence during dream. At first, recognition may arrive after the reaction. Later, it may appear while the reaction is unfolding. In time, you may feel the first tightening before a complete world has formed around it. That early moment is precious. The self has begun to assemble, but it has not yet become unquestionable. For one breath, experience is present without the immediate command to possess it or reject it. The mirror does not chase the reflection. This is not the end of grasping and aversion. It is the beginning of seeing them clearly, and what is seen clearly no longer works in quite the same darkness. Much of conditioned life is organized around reaching for what promises completion and pushing against what threatens the self we have learned to defend. These movements follow us into dreams because they are rehearsed ways of becoming someone inside experience. Dream yoga invites us to meet them without hatred. Grasping is not an enemy, and aversion is not proof of spiritual failure. They reveal the moment consciousness narrows around a temporary identity and takes a changing appearance to be absolute. Each honest recognition restores a little flexibility. Each pause prepares the mind to wake within another kind of dream. In the next chapter of Sleep Yoga, Episode 7, what is dream yoga actually for? We will step back from technique and ask about the deeper destination of the path. Is dream yoga meant to produce extraordinary experiences, gain control, receive guidance, or prepare consciousness for liberation? Subscribe to Dragon Light Alchemy, carry this light into your practice, and follow the Sleep Yoga series into the next teaching. Until then, stay close to the moment when reaching or resistance begins and carry this question with you. Who would you be for one moment without chasing or resisting? This week's practice. When a strong but manageable reaction arises, silently name the movement. Grasping, aversion, fear, defending. Feel where it appears in the body. What does this reaction insist must happen? Then notice the self, the object, and the reaction as dreamlike, present, conditioned, and changing. Before sleep, review one moment from the day and set the intention. Tonight, if I am chasing, fleeing, or defending, may I recognize the dream. Carry this question. Who would I be for one moment without chasing or resisting? Next in the series, Episode 7, what is dream yoga actually for? Subscribe to Dragon Light Alchemy.